Welcome back, everyone. This is Matthew, aka the Nuclear Cyborg. It is currently 2:56 p.m. in the afternoon. Happy 4th of July to everybody out there. Thank you for all the men and women that serve and all the ones that have served. I thank you. I'm so happy to be an American and to support the troops out there and that help to give me the right to remain free and independent. And again, I thank those that came before them that died to give me the right to live here and to practice my freedom and to live free, uh, within the laws, but you know to pretty much live the way I want to live. So anyway, so let's move on. Today, excuse me. I haven't posted a video in a couple of months, so this just seemed like a good opportunity to do so. It's just being Independence Day and the 4th of July. So as you can probably tell from the background, if you've ever clicked on one of my videos before, I'm filming in a different location. This is my living room that I'm at right now. I usually film upstairs in my office, but I figured for the content of today's video, it would be better to move my laptop from upstairs to downstairs to what I'm about to tell you about, what this video is going to be about today. So, as you can tell from the background, this is going to be game related content. I've heard about a month ago now that Nintendo was coming out with a remake of the Zelda Ocarina of Time that came back out in 1998 on the Nintendo 64 back in that day. Then I was probably in 6th or 7th grade, so there's some things, some details that went over my head during that time, but some things that I've heard about and that I'd like to see happen in the remake. If it's going to be a remake, I mean, if you just give me the same game with the technology and graphics that we have today, it would just be incredible. I do have it on the Ocarina of Time on my little Game Boy. Whatever they call it now, the 3DS, I think. But I hardly ever play that because the screen is so small. They've made some changes in there. See what of course the one I was just saying about the graphics is that came back the 64 back in the day in 1998. Those graphics at the time were amazing, but you look back at them now and you're like they're a little pixelated, I guess you might say, and the fingers all fused together and stuff like that. So like I said, they just give us the same game with the graphics. Being as good as they are today, it would be an amazing playthrough. If you've already seen the teaser trailer for the game, you can already see that everybody, or at least Link, has individual fingers. But anyway, what I wanted to say about that is that leading up to that is that I originally bit the bullet and bought a Switch 2 because that is exclusively going to be on the Nintendo Switch 2 over here. That's the one. That's the Nintendo Switch 2 right there. The Switch 1 is behind the TV, right back there. So, when the Switch 2 said that it was going to come out, I didn't have an urge to buy that. I didn't think I needed to buy that at the time, even for the new game. What is it? Age of Imprisonment, Zelda. I have it here. Just a second. When I was going to buy the system, I bought it from Amazon, off Amazon. So it cost me about $500. I went ahead and bought this too, so I'd have a game to play with it. Hyrule Warriors: Age of Imprisonment. I've been playing this. It's fun for what it is. It's not necessarily as free as Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom. It's kind of like it is. excuse me, it is role playing, but not as immersive. And I like to play. I like to play as Raru, the little goat man, uh, and instead of playing as Zelda or his his sister, was it Minoru? Is that how you pronounce it? But like I said, I like to play as Raru. But anyway, let me go ahead and show you some features of the. Well, I mean, well, by now I'm kind of late to the party, but you know, the Switch and the Switch 2, how they different. But you know, it was for me. It was new. Me finding out and discovering that actually the Switch 2 is actually a bit bigger and things like that. So let me just show you right quick. Excuse me. I'll put this down, this away so I can use both my hands here. So first I go over here and get the switch out. This is going to go off as I take it out of the dock. So we took this out. We'll go over here and we'll pull the switch 2 out of its dock. Now I don't have the Joy-Cons obviously inside the Switch, but as you can see, the Switch 2 is significantly bigger than the original Switch. Obviously, you put put the Switch 2 in front. You know, you can hardly see the original Switch because it is a lot bigger, both in width and in length. Now I like that. The screen on the original Switch, very nice, even though it is bigger than what we usually get. I always thought, I wish it was a little bit bigger, and then I could take it on trips like for the airport and all that other stuff, to actually play on the road and while I travel. I always wished it was a little bit bigger, and so the Switch 2, the screen is a little bit bigger, and I really like that. So. Excuse me again. That's really cool. Now I also like the Joy-Cons here. This is the Switch 2, obviously. The Joy-Cons here, I like these also like these better. You have a little notch back here that releases them, so you pull that and it comes right off. And then these are magnetic, so they slide right back in a lot easier than getting the Switch 1 Joy-Cons back in position. So put the Switch 2 back in stock for a second. So I have some extra hands. So like I said, this Switch 1, I was just got through playing actually, so took the Joy-Cons out of the control there and come over here so I can place them inside this. So like I said, switch putting them back into the slot, and sometimes it's a little hard. Excuse me again, not as hard as right now, but when it's in its dock, that's when it gets a little hard. So. Okay, so got the Joy-Cons back in there, and so that's the original Switch. We'll put this back on the dock. Okay, and then obviously what I was talking to you about how the Switch 1 and 2 are obviously bigger. When I went on Amazon, I was I didn't know that. That's something that I discovered. And so, but anyway, what I was about to say is the carrying case. This is a carrying case for the Nintendo Switch 2. At the time when I was online on Amazon and buying this a couple weeks ago, I didn't get a case. I didn't get a carrying case. I thought they were the same size, or maybe slightly different, but they could Switch 2 could still fit inside a case for the Switch 1, but obviously not. So this is what I bought. Let's see, do I have the other case? Okay, this is the case that I used to have, or still have. This is the OG original Switch. case. I mean, they're the same inside. Just obviously, there's just one of them's obviously bigger, just like the other one. You put the Switch 2 case in front of the Switch 1, you can't see it because obviously the Switch 2 is bigger. This is also hard shell, the Switch 2. So that's kind of a nice feature. The Switch 1 is a little softer. I like these things on the zippers too. Little swords. Uh, the, those aren't on the other ones. So you open this up and well, I closed it. Zip it back up. So zip it open and it's pretty much the same one. Here I also bought when I was there. I probably won't be putting this in there. I probably won't need to, but this is just something where you can hold all of your Switch and Switch 2 console, game consoles. So I bought that at the same time too. I have the Force Unleashed. I think Zelda Echoes of Wisdom. There's another Zelda game. No, that's Echoes of Wisdom. But I mean, there's four different Zelda games in here. The cartridge is getting smaller. Obviously, the words are getting smaller, so it's kind of hard for me to see. I think is the first one might be Twilight Princess. I can't remember. I can't see the words besides the Zelda. And then Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, Zelda A Link to the A Link Between Worlds, and then Zelda Skyward Sword. So I love the Zelda games, but probably won't be carrying this around when I go if I go on vacation. Obviously, there's slots to carry more than one game inside the Switch cases. So Switch case here. So and then it goes underneath. And these little elastic bands. So is that what you did with the original? No, we don't have straps. You have this little Velcro thing, so it goes in here. The Switch would go there, bottom side down, and then you flip this down, hold it in place, and Velcro right there. So the cases are different because obviously the systems are different. Yeah, and like I said, I like the Joy-Cons, the new Joy-Cons on there, and how bigger it is, so I can actually see the screen. But going back to the actual game, I love it. I can't wait for the game to come out. Let's change this background back again in a second. Since I just had to put the Joy-Cons back. So get that background. So this is Tears of the Kingdom. I did go through Breath of the Wild. I think I pretty much I beat Breath of the Wild. I think I would claim it to get in. I beat him numerous times. The only thing I can think on the Breath of the Wild that I didn't complete was finding the Korok seeds. You had 900 of them. I followed as many lists as I can, videos as I could. I just can never find them all. The same here with the Tears of the Kingdom. I was watching something from Austin John Plays that gives you some tips about trying to getting 100% completion on this one right here. And so I think he said, excuse me, if I understood exactly what he said on Breath of the Wild, you had a definite list that you could follow to get 100% completion. But on Tears of the Kingdom, it's not as straightforward as that. There are things that obviously you can do, but they count differently, and so it's just not as straightforward. So I know the Korok seeds. I still haven't found them all on Tears of the Kingdom here. I'm working on completing some side quests. I got about 10 side quests left. I think I've completed all the shrine quests. And there's also some adventure quests that I need to complete too. And then he said, you got to visit all these places on your map. Uh, if you see it on the bottom, on one of the bottom corners as you're walking through it, like say you mentioned bridges. So if you're walking across the bridge, you'll see the name pop up in the lower corner. That it registers on your completion. So I got about 95, 96%. So I'm getting there. But anyway, let's go back to the original game. The original Nintendo 64 game, Ocarina of Time. That was so iconic in its time. It's still iconic today. I mean, it's an amazing game, and there are lots of theories out there. I think the main thing that I would like to see, as a kid, when I was sixth, seventh grade, there are things that went over the top of my head. I just didn't know enough, pay attention, couldn't pay attention enough. Is that one thing? You didn't actually get the Triforce the original Ocarina of Time. As Ganondorf, and then the prophecy says that in the game said that if somebody with excuse me, uneven values touches the Triforce will split into three. Excuse me again. Sorry about that. I got something going on. I don't know if it's my allergies or what, but I got cold, scratchy throat. Anyway, but the Triforce was split into three pieces, and then the piece that the person that touched it, familiarize or embody that element, that piece would stay with him. So power obviously stayed with Ganon or Ganondorf, and then courage went to Link, and then wisdom went to Zelda. And at the very end of the game, that we're all brought together. But even after you defeat Ganon, you don't get the Triforce, you don't make a wish or anything like that. And again, some of the details that I just didn't register as a kid is like when you hit the pause menu on the 64. You had like a little stone. It was like a stone tablet or something like that with indentions, and everything fit into those indentions. Like when you were completing the medallion quest, each medallion had its own special spot in that little stone tablet when you hit pause, and then in the middle of the circle, excuse me, was the indention of the Triforce. So everybody thought that once you got the Triforce, that's where the Triforce would sit in the center, but it never did. And then again, I've seen videos of people that have claimed to find the Triforce. You get it. You have to do this. You have to do that, or it's in every order, or play through the whole thing without dying, or something like that. But you can't really get it in there through any kind of gameplay. You have to actually use codes or whatever else. And so that's something I would like to see in the new one, that we can actually get the Triforce this time. I know that this breaks the timeline, Ocarina of Time, because at the very end, Zelda sends Link back to his original childhood. But then, even though he gets to relive his childhood as a child, he still got the memories, and he doesn't feel like a child anymore. He doesn't feel like one, because obviously he lived as an adult for a couple of years, through at least seven, because he had stayed in the Temple of Time for so long, from child to adult. But so I'd like to see him get the Triforce. That would be a nice feature that they would actually add. But again, seeing some of the bosses just in their new glory, this new graphics that we have today, glory, would be awesome. I remember when I was a kid playing the 64 version, the first time I saw the first boss in the Deku Tree, I was scared stiff. So I mean, if they could do something like that nowadays, where actually a boss would actually on TV would actually scare the crap out of you, like it did for me when I was a kid, sixth, seventh grade. Oh, my screen saver just popped up. I don't think you see it, but I see it, and so it cuts the screen off, so I can't see myself what I'm doing here. But that would be cool. But anyway, that's what I just wanted to come on here and tell you guys. I finally bit the bullet and got a Switch to, excuse me, so yeah, right here, Switch to. Uh, I wish that I could have switched my data from the one to the two, but something happened back when I bought years ago when I had the Switch One, and that was going on. I set up an account with a different email, and then either that email provider stopped providing, and so I have a different email now. And so when I was trying to transfer my data from the Switch One to Switch Two, it wouldn't register. It was just that screen where you have like you have the little emoji of the Switch One and the Switch Two. The Switch One was highlighted, you know, feature. You could see it. It had excuse me. It was blacked out. You could see it, but the Switch Two is blank. It's like you see that circle, but it just never stopped because it can never transfer over because it was two different accounts. So it would have been cool if I could do that and play. I mean, it plays the game. It plays the same cartridges. Switch Two will play Switch One games. So it would be nice if I could use the Switch Two to play here the Tears of the Kingdom while I'm trying to finish out the last things. But I can't do that. It does play the game, but then again, I got to start back from the beginning because my data would not transfer. So, but that's kind of a pain. But I still got both systems, and to be honest, this is kind of like the only game that I play. I don't really care for any other game on the Switches. As an adult, I'm finding it a lot harder to play games nowadays. It's just something that, maybe you grow out of. I don't know, but we used to love playing video games as a kid. But anyway, that's my spiel. I mean, like I said, I finally bit the bullet, and I can't wait for November or Christmas time, so I can actually buy the new Zelda game. I prefer something. I prefer. I'll tell you that I prefer actual game cartridges. I know a lot of systems now are going digital. I think I heard rumors that PlayStation are full digital now. They're not going to no longer make physical copies of games. I like physical copies of games. Uh, in anything really. I mean, I know DVD and Blu-ray. We're going a lot more digital now. I still prefer an actual disc, Blu-ray, DVD, than just something digital. So that's me. But anyway, thank you all for watching. Thank you for clicking on this video. If you could like this video, I'd appreciate it. Leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys have planned today for 4th of July. If you're going to be doing something special when the sun's finally sets and all that stuff, and go fire fireworks. Please be careful. Anybody that does plan on firing fireworks, just play. Just be safe. Those that don't do anything too crazy. With firing off fireworks, holding bottle rockets in your hand and all that other stuff. Unless you bought the bottle rockets in from another state, because Kentucky obviously wouldn't have sold them to you. But leave a comment down below. Tell me what you're doing for the 4th. Tell me if you played Breath of the Wild, if you played Tears of the Kingdom, how far you've gotten. If you're excited for this new game, this new remake of Ocarina of Time that's supposed to be coming out later this year. If you're going to buy it, what you're looking for. So comment, subscribe to this channel. This is my second go. I've already mentioned this before, but I had a channel. I had about maybe about 20 subscribers. Not very many, but I had a lot. I had some videos on there. So, something about another thing is that I'll just post videos for you to watch. I post videos on there on YouTube, so I could rewatch them. I've been to Disney World at the Halloween party and the Christmas party, and I recorded all that stuff, and I placed it on YouTube so I could rewatch it along with anybody else that wanted to watch it. Because not everybody gets to go to the Halloween party and the Christmas party because it's separate. You can be at that park at the park. Excuse me. You can be at the park on Halloween and during Christmas time, but unless you got that special ticket paid for it, you can't stay after a certain time for the parties. So I was there during the parades and all that stuff, seeing. I can Who's the doctor? The doctor's name from The Princess and the Frog? I can't remember. I can never remember his name. That was not really a movie that I thought I liked. I didn't like it enough. I didn't think it was worth my time. I did see it. I did watch it, but I didn't think it was that significant as some other the Sleeping Beauty. The bad witch is Maleficent. The stuff like that. You don't need some movies are not significant where you got to know the actual names of the villains, but during the parade, Doctor whatever, he kind of like did this thing where his eyes and right at me, so it's kind of funny, and I caught that on video. Things like that would have been it's just cool. But anyway, so thank you for clicking on this video. Like, comment, subscribe, and happy 4th of July to everybody out there. Again, thank you for all of our soldiers out there that put their lives at risk, so that I can enjoy my freedom and enjoy some comforts in my own home. Thank you for all the soldiers that have come before us, gave me the right to do that, to be able to live free and in this wonderful country where I can practice my freedom, whether it's freedom of speech, freedom of my religion, whatever. Within the confines of the law, I can live free, and I thank everybody that has come before, and those that continue to sacrifice, so I can maintain my freedom today. So anyway, happy 4th of July, everybody. Thank you for clicking on this video. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Next video, if I do one, I think the next video I have planned would probably be around the sometime in August, because that's my birthday, and so I just want to be able to come up there and say it's my birthday, say hi to me and all that other stuff. But anyway, let's actually finish this now, okay? So like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for clicking on this video. Happy 4th of July. Thank you so much.